Alright, so this is your main fire pump controller. This is your display screen. Let you know everything's going on. In the event that you have to turn this off, I put little cheat notes here.
Yes, you did.
Turn this off first, boom. Then this one second. And then when you're turning it back on, you're gonna turn this back on first. Wait till this turns on. And then you come back to here and turn on your alternative power. These are your
And it
extra
does
head boxes.
It does send a signal right to the fire panel.
Yes, and this sends a signal to the FCC room.
Right.
All right.
This is your jockey pump control panel. It's on auto. It's on.
Explain what is the jockey pump.
Jockey pump maintains system pressure.
Okay.
So that the main pump doesn't have to turn on.
And that's that little one down there, correct?
Where does it kick on at, you know?
Yes. At 260.
So it gets down to.
So if it gets below 260, you'll kick back on and put it back up. Yeah.
Where is it, and then it shuts off at what,
270. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and then just remember. So if you do happen to do this in the wrong sequence, what happens is the generator upstairs will turn on, but as soon as you turn this on, you'll see on the display screen right here, it'll say generator cooling down, and it'll have usually 5 to 10 minutes cool down period.
Right.
It cools down.
So the Jenny will turn on for 5-10 minutes and then shut off.
And we will have a warning sign, a warning on the panel.
On the fire panel.
Gotcha.
It'll say generator running,
For
phase
what? I
failure.
don't know. We got power. I don't understand.
So if you do go wrong,
Yeah.
it's not the end of the
No,
world.
don't worry.
It'll shut itself off and correct itself. And like I said, these are
You have
all
the tools there.
two of each head here, head wrenches. These halfway through this job, the heads changed. They discontinued the other VK462s, and these are the new VK462s. So they just go in and then just go like that. But the older ones, you're gonna use this head wrench.
Gotcha.
Like a regular head.
Yeah.
So. Alright. This will kick on, and we'll be shooting water on the floor, putting out the fire. And I don't know the protocol after that. I don't know if you come in here or the fire department comes in here and shuts the panel off. I don't know that.
So if a guest broke a sprinkler or something, that he has to shut off water to the building,
Okay?
you shut it.
No.
So if a guest broke a sprinkler head, what I'll do is you go to your panel, we'll make sure it's not a fire. Come back down here, turn off the pump at the panel, and then go to the floor and turn off the control valve there, and the water will stop. Well, first you shut off the
First, you should control the
Yeah.
valve, close
Stop
the
the
valve, open the drain.
Open the drain, run down here, turn the pump off. And then that's that.
And this will, you know, once the control valve's closed and this builds up pressure, the pump will shut off automatically. If you
Correct.
don't get down here in time,
Yeah.
to shut it off.
But
It's
so
kind of like the
Lewis is a fail safe. You come down here and make sure it's
Right,
so you don't
right.
ruin your.
I mean, the most important thing is to stop the damage on the floor.
Yeah. You say come back down there, but you shut it off up there, then come back down.
Yeah, you go up there, evaluate the situation, turn off the control valve so the water stops. Then you come down here, make sure this thing turns off. And then you can restart it so the whole system's protected again.
Gotcha. Easy peasy.
You guys want to see
No.
where the main's coming in from the streets and the meters?
Yes, I actually
And
got that.
then, so like you break a sprinkler head, okay, and you want to fill up, you know, you can turn the fire pump off and let the jockey
Yes.
pump.
So in that case, sprinkler gets fixed from the extra heads in the box there. You fix it. Turn this off, turn the main control off, leave the jockey on.
Okay.
Go to the control valve on the floor, turn it on slowly, and the floor will fill up. And then it'll hit 150 PSI, it'll get full, jockey pump will turn off, then you can come down here and turn the main controller back on.
when you were filling, did you ever have any issues with air bubbles, that where you waited a little bit before you turned this back on?
Well, each floor has a PRV on it.
Okay.
So sometimes you'll hear just like clanking,
Right.
but that's just the PRV trying
Trying to break
to,
it.
it's thinking like, what's up with all this pressure? And the jockey pump's just trying to feed it pressure.
Right.
So it's trying to reduce that, but then it finally hits its money spot, 150 PSI, and then it just stops.
Now, when you were filling the upper floors, okay, did it ever set off like a flow on a lower floor as you were filling?
No.
Okay.
No.
I've seen that happen.
Each floor is individual. It's got its own. Every floor has its own riser, its own control valve, its own flow switch.
Okay.
So everything is individual.
Right, but sometimes like when you release the water when you're opening, okay, it could affect the floor below. I've seen that in some high rises, right? Have to disable a couple floors on top, you know, just so that they wouldn't go into an alarm because of the water pressure. But I didn't have PRDs on every floor either.
Potentially the
Check valve.
check valves probably
Should.
insufficient because the water should only go one way.
Right.
So if water's going in reverse on another floor. If there's a feed another floor, there's an issue there.
This was always maintained
So-
at 50 PSIs?
Yeah, this goes no pressure reducing, and this is always going to be at 50.
Okay.
This is your air bleed off valve.
Okay.
Get all the air pockets out of the system. This is your main stack going into the building to feed all the floors. This is the test header. This will be used for your annuals and your 5 years. So you want to run a test loop. You're gonna shut this guy off. You're gonna shut off all the control valves in the building throughout the levels, and then you can go back up to the control panel, hit run, and the water will just sit here and run in circles.
And then once it gets hot,
This is always dripping water. This will
Right.
never get hot because it's leaking water. As you can see there, it's always dripping.
and then, but I mean, if it, once it, you know, when you're deadheading and when you want that, this is kind of like a relief, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And how long do we run this? How long can we run it?
I don't know that answer.
All right.
Yeah, it won't run until it fails. It will run as long as the fire is on.
Right.
It runs till it fails.
Once it builds pressure, what is it, usually 5 minutes or
Yes.
something that shuts off automatically?
This is your backflows right here. You got two mains coming in from two different streets. This main's coming in from Shattuck. I wrote it here, also the meter number. Got this main coming from Center Street, also a meter number. This shuts off the water to your building. This is your main fire pump right here. This is your Yaki pump right here. This is your fire tank. If there's an earthquake and the water main breaks in the street, water will be used from this fire tank.
Automatically, correct?
Automatic. This is your sewage ejector pit. This is your tank drain. I wrote it here. You just open up the hatch, put this down, and you can drain your tank here.
And the only time you overflow is when meters go off, it's a sensor?
Yeah, so if there's a high water alarm in the FCC room, you can come here and drain some water out until it corrects itself.
All right.
Here we go. We're in stair one.
Mm-hmm.
Stair one, each level has its own riser,
Correct.
has its own hose valve.
Okay.
This is also where the drain is. So let's say someone hits a sprinkler on the floor, right?
Mhm.
You're gonna come here, open the drain all the way, and shut this valve till the water shuts off.
And it takes all the water out of the pipes.
And that'll just stop the water flow going into this floor.
Right, okay.
Stair two only has these in it. And that's all you really need to know. Stair 1 has all the controls, all the way up and down.
Okay.
And they both have basically pressure.
Yeah, they all have PRVs on them. They only get a certain amount of pressure. And as you can see, it's about 150.
All right.
And
Flow switch, tamper switch.
yep, flow switch, tamper. This sends a signal to the FCC room. And that's really pretty much all there is to know.
And
This is the main drain. This is what we used when we did hose valve testing. We connected the flow meter to here and ran a hose to here.
Yes, you did. I remember
And
that.
flowed it full throttle.
No leaks.
No leaks. Everything was muddy. And then of course you got your calc plates right here. Gives you all the information you need per floor. And it's pretty typical. Stairwell besides stair 1, it's just gonna look like this. We're gonna have a hose valve for the fire department connection and
you get a lot of pipe, didn't you?
yeah. Did a lot.
How big a crew did you have?
Just 4 or 5 guys.
Okay.
Typically we always have the smallest crew, you know?